Europe burns tonight. From the cobbled streets of Madrid to the avenues of Berlin, from Paris to London, a wave of fury sweeps the continent. Flares explode against embassy walls, police sirens scream through choking smoke, thousands of fists punch the night sky with Palestinian flags. This is not protest. This is insurrection against leaders accused of betrayal and hypocrisy. In Madrid, classrooms stood empty as students abandoned schools and flooded the streets. 40 cities rose in unison, voices thundering against what they call genocide in Gaza. Banners stretched across boulevards, chants echoing off centuries-old buildings. Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez's words against Israel are dismissed as hollow theatre. The youth demand embargoes, boycotts, a total rupture with Netanyahu's government.
Today our classes are empty and the streets are full of people, full of students, proving our dignity and proving also that we are in the correct side of history together with the Palestinian people.
Athens explodes in chaos. Fireworks and flares rain down on the Israeli embassy. Thick smoke swallows the crowd as riot police brace for impact. Protest leaders denounce their own government as traitors, calling Israel's actions an act of piracy on the high seas. The promise is chilling, a nationwide strike on October 10th, designed to paralyze Greece and bring the state to its knees.
We're here to demonstrate against the act of piracy of Israel army against the flotilla Sumut. This shows how barbaric is this state. They don't accept even humanitarian help to Gaza, and they continue the policy of genocide. We condemn our governments who support Israel, who support the suppression of the flotilla Sumut, and we will stand against them. This is the start of a big demonstration to stop the cooperation of Greek government with Israel. Will escalate on 10 of October with a general strike.
Paris roars at Place de la République. Lawmakers from France Insoumise climb atop statues, megaphones shaking with fury. Their charge is damning. Europe imposed 18 rounds of sanctions on Russia, yet none on Netanyahu. Protesters wave watermelons painted with Free Palestine. Banners scream, "Stop the genocide." They demand Macron suspend EU-Israel trade and sanction Netanyahu himself.
We are here carrying another voice of France, the one that expresses disgust when it sees that Russia and Putin have had 18 packages of sanctions because they violated international law and Netanyahu and Israel didn't have any. The one that is disgusted by these double standards that allow a criminal convicted by the ICC to fly 3 times in French airspace. France has the power to react, and our mobilization is pushing it to do so and isolate Israel.
Rome's ancient Colosseum becomes a stage for modern rebellion. Thousands gather, children draped in Palestinian flags, dogs and families marching together. Signs plaster Giorgia Meloni's face with the word complicit. Naples descends into chaos as protesters storm railway lines, halting trains with chants of Free Palestine. In Turin, crowds gather around giant screens streaming flotilla footage, and Berlin, 30,000 strong, demands Germany's government cut weapons to Israel, banners reading, "One genocide does not justify another."
I am here to say that Israel is a terrorist state that did something to the flotilla that it had no right to do in international waters, continuing to violate every kind of right, continuing to oppress the Palestinian people, not just since October 7th, but since 1948, since the Nakba. We are here.
London's heart convulses with fury. Outside Parliament, protesters deface Winston Churchill's statue with banners reading "Zionists." On Whitehall, smoke billows as crowds clash with police. Chants of "Starmer has blood on his hands" echo off Downing Street. Arrests mount as protesters are dragged into vans, but the defiance only grows louder. Placards on the ground scream, "It's not a crime to act against genocide." The message is blunt. Britain's silence makes it an accomplice.
This genocide has gone for 2 years. The Israeli entity has broken every international law. And last night, they kidnapped more than 400 international civilians in international water, amongst them over 20 British subjects. The UK needs to act now and protect the civilians in Gaza, protect the civilians on the flotilla that they were trying simply to send some baby formula to dying babies in Gaza.
Across Europe, the cracks deepen. Leaders boast of sanctions against Moscow but cannot control their own capitals. Their people demand justice for Gaza, while their economies bleed, their borders buckle under migration, their streets burn with unrest. The continent that once claimed moral authority now staggers, fractured and lawless. Europe no longer looks united. It looks broken, battered and betrayed. And from afar, Vladimir Putin pours salt into Europe's wounds. At the Valdai Forum, he mocked the chaos, ridiculing leaders obsessed with the phantom of Russian aggression. His words slice through the hypocrisy.
Go to sleep. Sleep quietly. Finally deal with your own problems. See what is happening on the streets of European cities. What is happening to the economy, industry, European culture and identity, with huge debts and an increasing crisis of social security systems which have come out of control of migration, the growth of violence, including political radicalization of left-wing, ultra-liberal, Russian marginal societies.
Putin's words strike like a dagger, mocking distracted and failed European leaderships as their cities burn with anger. A continent once the model of order now trembles on the edge of lawlessness. Europe burns, and its enemies watch with satisfaction.